one thing, because we know about God, we're very blessed. Because if we didn't know, we wouldn't know where our bodies come from. We wouldn't know. We wouldn't know about divinity. It's a blessing to know about divinity. The men of this world have failed the women, and the women of this world have failed the men. And the percentage of men that are good for women, what is that? I don't know if that's small or large. Men need virtuous women to keep them virtuous. It's a synergistic thing. Like, if women are virtuous, then the men will be virtuous, and it builds from there. If the women aren't virtuous, then the men won't be virtuous. And so it's a pulling down to hell kind of thing. And if the women are pulling the men down and the men are pulling the women, it's like this cycle of pulling down to hell. I don't know if it's Sheol, but it's down from sacredness. Everything holy is high, buoyant. You could think of like the world as a water world. So everything, pretend we all live in water, and everything we do stays in the water. But holiness would be something that floats. And so you could grab onto it and you could go up with it. So holiness, it could be like bubbles, like air. So it's like we live in water, and we grab onto something holy, and it's going to make us different. It's like everybody is staying at one level. And it's really reflected in movies. I was watching Night and Day. I watch a lot of movies that are garbage, complete garbage, because of my job. I take care of my parents. But, movies are a really good reflection of the worst of the world, because the worst people in the world make movies. The most evil-minded, the people with the most evil imaginations, they've got the camera. Not very many people with cameras in Hollywood have family and virtue on their minds. I mean, so imagine if you took Hollywood as an entity, like as a person, so like as a man. So imagine if Hollywood in general was a man. What would you picture that man being? What kind of man would that be? To me, would it be a filthy man? I mean, the whole Me Too movement there's so many contradictions and hypocrisies in it, because the Me Too movement is a Hollywood movement. It's not a movement that was started by individual or groups of women that aren't part of the corporation. To me, you could make a good argument that the Me Too movement was planned by men, by filthy men. Now, why would they plan it? Well, maybe it's a distraction. Maybe it's so the Me Too movement if you go and look at each of these women and go and look in how many of the movies and shows they've been in have shown women being tortured, you can see the hypocrisy of, well, you support an industry that shows women being tortured, traumatized. I mean, so, and they could say, well, we show shows about murder and rape and torture, whatever. Well, so it's done to tell a story. But what is this obsession? What is this obsession with these people in Hollywood that they have to continually show women being traumatized? I mean, think about it. You could actually call some networks.
Corbin?
Yeah.
The movie's over. Can we play something else?
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. So my dad needed some help. I don't know where I was, but you have you could say they're evil or satanic, whatever. For some people I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's like, the people in media, they just promote Satanism in the sense of they promote everything that Satanism represents in the Bible. They promote homosexuality and violence. And that's the interesting thing, because there's a lot of good homosexual people in the world. Maybe most of them are. I mean, a lot of them are a lot more kind than I am. But and I'm just going, if you just think, like, let's say that you're gay, and that you're like, hey, Hollywood is, if you're gay, are you proud that Hollywood is promoting homosexuality? Because look at all the other stuff they promote. So that's kind of weird, It's like, oh yeah, well, Hollywood is helping us. Hollywood is promoting the gay lifestyle. Hollywood is promoting gay marriage or whatever. It's kind of weird if Hollywood promotes anything and people like it, because even me, it's like, if Hollywood promoted family values or whatever, it's like, I'm like, even if they promoted health, or like, even if they promoted religion or Jesus or Mormonism or whatever, it's like, I'd be like, no thanks. Like, you guys are sick. Like, that's the thing, is like, obviously Hollywood is a reflection of the world. A very merciful way is to say, well, Hollywood is a reflection of just human nature, not even just in general. Most people are angry. Most people are not interested in being honest and kind. You look back in all societies or are warlike societies. And I don't even know if I should be talking about homosexuality in this video, because it doesn't even relate. But that's hey, look at the good part of this wall, whatever. But imagine how. Uh, look at the Hollywood, and they are part of cable, right? Like they own cable. Like Hollywood is cable TV. Cable TV has porn channels, and cable TV has they show women being. I mean, at the worst, they show women being tortured. And so Hollywood is just like this filthy, satanic industry that's really evil. And I don't watch cable TV. I don't watch Amazon. I've only just started watching it because my parents watch it. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, I feel really dark, and this is just really bad. I'm like, they're showing women being traumatized and tortured all the time. Like, all the time. Like, every single series show, and they show men being traumatized too. And this is okay? Like, this world, like, people are okay with this being shown? The people, so that's why it's weird if you're a Christian. That's why it's weird if you like peace, and if you like people to be taken care of. Like, I want women to be taken care of. I want women to be safe. And so it's really weird that the people who are in control of culture, the people who make TV and movies and rap music or any kind of music that condones even disrespect towards women. I want to respect women. It's like, wait a minute, these people are really bad. They are really bad. Now, are there a lot of bad people in the world? Yeah, there's a lot of men in the world who are bad men. And maybe there's too many. But Hollywood, the people who are making movies, these are bad people. And think about it. Like, there's so much trauma already happening to women. Like, there's so much bad things happening to women already, that to be the type of person, to be a writer or a director, to invent more, you're really twisted. You're really psychotic. You're really wicked. And that's what I think. That's what I'm thinking. It's like, there's so much violence that's been done in this world that you're the type of person that's like, I want to add to it. Like, I want to make a horror movie. I want to make a TV show about cops, and I want to make a murder mystery show. And it's like, really? Like, why don't you do something with your life that helps the women who have been traumatized? And I think the same thing about war movies. It's like 13 Hours or Lone Survivor or whatever. It's like, oh man, this horrible thing happened, and we should make a movie out of it.